It is Burgess Taylor from Journey with Burgess, and we're going to talk about my art travel bag, my watercolor palettes, and my DIY sketchbook. I have footage that I'm going to show you. I worked really hard to kind of put everything together to revamp something. It was a mess. I had stuff in all kinds of places. I'm still looking for a few things. But that's okay. That's okay because this helped me get some things organized. I did the long version for Patreon and one of the higher tiers, the middle tier. I reorganized. Now this is my craft table palette. This stays usually in here. I don't usually even take this much in the living room because I have other palettes. On occasion I will, but I tend to work smaller when I go in the living room or when I go out and about, and I know what's in this bag. Doesn't seem like it's small, but I have a bag in a bag. So I have a bag I can actually take that's in there and throw it in my purse and just go. And then all the rest of the stuff is the really go. Like I have a little stool, little camping stool, and I have a bigger chair with a little footstool or a little table. If David and I are going together, then I take both. I take my chair with the little table and I take the stool, because usually David sits on the stool and I sit in the chair and use the little table. Last time I did it when I went outside, I actually used the table as a footstool because there were ants everywhere. Hopefully now that the weather is next month after, going to start cooling off, we won't have so many ants. We did spray our yard. We need to spray it again. Hopefully we'll have gotten rid of them, wasps. Ants. I plan on, once the humidity drops a little and it's not quite so humid out, I plan on doing a lot more getting outdoors and going sketching. More in the yard, more at the park, more at Starbucks, more downtown. And we have a lot of places that I could actually go to. I prefer when it's Dave and I together because he can actually film. I don't like leaving my camera on a tripod, not the bigger one or the smaller one. I don't like doing that. When we go together, I take this camera and the other camera. Usually he takes pictures with this camera and he films with the other camera. I have my little Fujifilm Instant. You're going to see that. It's in the bag. I have a phone and a tablet I can also take pictures with. I wanted to put the travel bag together because I have been going and taking too much. Even when I went out my yard, even when I went to the picnic table, taking too much. Now there's a difference between when I can go, like at the picnic table, or at the park where they have picnic tables or tables like at Starbucks, and I can kind of spread out a little. But when I can't, I need my small stuff, my little bag. So I put it together. You're going to see, and then I'm going to, at the end of this, show you what's actually in this bag, because I debated. I actually, at one point, you're going to see right at the end, I had the lunchbox out, the Jaws lunchbox. I was going to put it in the bag, and then I decided I didn't want it to get banged up, and you know, it's a collector's item. I don't want it to get dinged up and banged up and stuff. It's one thing for me to use stuff out of it here and during Shark Week, but to use it on a regular basis, I decided not to. And I really would rather have all of the colors matching, but it's just not possible because I thought I had enough bags, but I don't. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I know that sounds really, like, you know, petty, kind of. But I don't want to have a whole lot of leather when I'm out and about. I like the canvas stuff for going to the park and the playground and stuff. I don't want to take all my leather stuff out there. I don't mind like one of my traveler's notebooks, but I don't want to invest in a whole lot of leather pin rolls or pin bags to take out and about, because to be honest, I'm messy. I am hard on stuff, not in a where I kick it, you know, around the room or anything, but I am not precious with my stuff. So it does get watercolor on it. It gets pen ink on it. I use them, and I tend to want to be precious with the leather stuff. And I know I have a $300 or $400 saddleback leather bag. One, it's a little too heavy, but I used it for a little while as my art travel bag, and then I was like, oh, it's gonna get. I wanted it. I sort of wanted it to get rugged, but at the same time, So I've got to get better about that. But until I get better about that, because eventually I want all black leather. I like black leather and I like red leather. So I'm thinking black leather would be the best option for me because it's much easier to find black leather. So maybe I'll get a black leather like folio with a red pocket, but get the pen roll. Yeah, I know, but it's on my wish list. But I'm afraid I'll be too precious with it. So for now, until I get a lot better about urban sketching and going out, I don't see buying any of that yet. I'm still figuring things out. So some of these, what's in my bag, you've seen before. I've done them before. But some of them weren't with the knowledge that I have now, knowing that I was taking way too much. And I know that I still have way too much in this bag, but I packed this bag full, like if I were going to go on vacation, or if I were going to go to my mom's, or if I were going to go to my in-laws, or we went somewhere else for the day or for the weekend, so that I could have, my journal's not in here, so I would actually put the journal in here, but this is more for art. My journal is right here, so I could put it in there. This actually goes in my purse a lot. So let's just let you see how I got to this, and then I'll show you this. this bag, this is just a Jan Sport book bag, and I have taken some of the little buttons, little pins, and put them on here. So we're going to start with the front. And in the front I have this for the camera, and then I have this is a handy wipe. Now normally I have a to-go cup of coffee with me, and I have a bottle of water with me. This is my big bottle of water for working on my art in case I need it. It's the extra. And this was apple juice I bought for Victor and I kept the bottle. And in this bag I have earphones that go to my tablet. They're back there, and I have the extra. It's a phone charger or tablet charger. I can put it to my laptop, and if my laptop's plugged in, I can charge my phone or my tablet. This is my like emergency kind of bag. I have contact lens rewetting solution. I do wear contacts on occasion. I have allergy eye drops, and I have anti-itch and triple antibiotic ointment, and a cotton ball and a Q-tip. And I had a Band-Aid in there, but Victor needed the Band-Aid, so I've got to go get a Band-Aid back out of the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. He saw me going through this stuff. I have some hemp lotion. It's sweet pineapple and honey melon for my hands. I have lip balm. I have After Bite itch eraser, and I also, but it's in there because I used it for me and Victor, it's bug spray. I have the small water bottle, the big collapsible. This one doesn't work in the, you'll see it in a minute, the thing I can hook to. This actually, I use it when I'm going to be sitting at some kind of table. And then I have my utility pocket knife. It's the one my dad gave me. It will actually hook through the belt loop and stuff. And that is it for the front section. And when I go, I can lock my purse in. I can throw my wallet in my backpack. This is a key holder. And throw my keys in here, and I can just carry the backpack. Or I could just not take my purse with me and just take my wallet. Now in here, because I was actually I'm going to go tomorrow. So this is the little cup holder. It's not wide enough. Okay, I have my apple wrapped up in some paper towels. I washed it really good, and that way I have a snack. And I'll probably put a granola bar or something like that in there as well. I have a empty ink container, and it has water in it. And I have these two clippy things. That was what was in that section. Oh, yeah, lip balm. Okay, this is when we get to the good stuff. I have a pack of baby wipes. This is, usually these stay on my craft table. This is actually the to-go bag that goes in my purse. I can just throw this one bag in my sketchbook, or my either one of my sketchbooks or my journal, and I can take this with me. I'm going to show you what's in this bag. This is my DIY sketchbook. It's my practice book. And as you can tell, the journal and the practice sketchbook go together. This is my book. I just got this, just really started using it. So I'm hoping, because this one I made is more for practice, but it's also bigger. It's watercolor paper and mixed media paper. This is watercolor paper. I'm going to start sketching more in this, little things. After I sort of do some practice in the bigger one, I want to get better. So I want to start practicing, and I'm going to start listing like what colors I use, how I mixed, what I mixed, where I was at. Take a little snapshot with the instant camera, which is right here, and I can put the picture in the DIY sketchbook. Yes, that bag. Yes. I don't have a camera bag for this. This is the number 7. This is one of the older ones. but it still works great. If I ever get a new one, I'll just give this one to my daughter or to Victor. I love it. It works fine for what I need it for. It's just to kind of capture an image. It's not, you know, if I want a really nice image, I'll take a picture with my camera, my good camera, and I'll print it on the Canon film on my Canon printer. So that's all that's in this part. So this bag, like I said, I can take this bag and put it in my purse, and it can go with me. That one hair, y'all. Have a mini bottle of water. I like having the water. So in this one bag, I have this little bag, and in this little bag I have the mini palette. You saw me put that together. I have another thing, a little mini water. I don't use water brushes hardly ever anymore now. So I have travel brushes, an eraser, my MacGyvered platinum carbon desk pen, an extra pencil, a white gel pen, my platinum, I think this is the Balance or the Cool. I have both of them. This one is the fine nib and the other one is the medium nib. I have carbon ink in this, platinum carbon ink. And in the other one I have Lexington Gray. And then this is a number 9 pencil, and I think this is a 7 or a 5. This is a 7. So that's all that's in this bag. It's a little bit of whatever I might need, main things. And in this watercolor palette, you saw where I put it together, it has the 3 primary colors. And then I also have Sleeping Beauty turquoise, I think it's a green, a darker green, and then burnt sienna. And then because that's never quite enough, just in case, I tend to have a plastic bag and then a my watercolor handkerchief. These handkerchiefs belong to my dad, and I am using them now. I have this Altoids box, and this is the To Go. This is one of those little compressed towels that once you wet it, you know, and then in this I showed you, and that I have an extra cartridge for the platinum carbon dust pen. I have a little tiny mini, it's like probably a 1 or a 2 travel brush. Have that little sponge and the 2 little things and my kneadable eraser. And then I have buff titanium, Payne's gray, manganese, I have Payne's blue gray, manganese blue, no, cerulean blue, and this purple color with the buff titanium. And those are my, and a little piece of a makeup sponge in case I need them. And chances are, and I love Payne's gray and Payne's blue gray, and I wanted to have a little bit more of a color thing. I know I could mix, but sometimes who wants to take the time to mix? Really, who wants to take the time to mix? So I can take this along with my journal or my sketchbook and go. Put them in my purse and just go. So that's what's in that part of my knapsack. Now usually I have the tablet thing over there, but my tablet is charging and I don't want to pull it out because it will go in here. It's just not in here right now. And I have the phone charging as well. And this part, I have the DIY, the clipboard that I painted and added magnets to, so I could put my journal on there, or my sketchbook on there, and that way I have it. And this actually will clip so the wind doesn't get to stuff. And this is what this is for. This is supposed to hold the water, but that thing is too wide, or you can put it this way and it will hold like a strap thing if it's not too heavy. I actually have one of Victor's cups that will fit in there, and if I were going somewhere where I knew I wouldn't be able to use a collapsible cup or whatever, I would probably take that cup instead of the collapsible cup, because Victor's cup has a spill-proof lid. Now, like I said, I have the bag for my tablet, and then that would go in there, and then this is my sketchbook I've been working on since the end of last year, and I want to finish it up. I have some things When I first got it, I did the tree, and that was in November. I illustrated Thanksgiving. That was an artist date with my daughter. I illustrated Christmas. That was some fun illustration. That was my day summed up in 2 big things. This is when we had snow here. I did the front yard and the backyard. This was an artist date with David when I went urban sketching. I sketched my supplies. I sketched a coffee cup. I sketched the tree again, and we actually made it a date. I did a self-portrait watercolor. I sketched my bag, which is right here, and normally I have my pens and stuff in here. I did some of the prompts for World Watercolor Month in here. That was David in the yard. It was things, shades of blue. These are me. That's my mom, me, David, and Victor's shoes. This was playing games, so I did Scrabble, flying things. That was one of the birds that comes and perches on my, most of the time it's perching on the clothesline pole. This was fun to do. This is climbing mountains, and I did the laundry basket. And the tree again. That I did for Shark Week. We're going to need a bigger boat. So I have lots of pages left in here, and I am going to bring it. And then in case, you're going to see I have another travel palette, but this is mostly Holbein colors, and it has some Schminke and some Daniel Smith in there. And this, if I go to my mom's or if we were going on vacation, only thing I don't like about this is the lid. It has a mixing tray that comes out, and I still have room. I love this thing, but I can take this if I'm going to be somewhere where there's a table. I may or may not use it. Like if I mean, sometimes I could actually do urban sketching from the car, depending on the weather. So this was David's bag. It was a shaving kit that he got for Christmas one year. And it doesn't match anything else, but I like how big it is. So this has the bulk of my regular stuff that I take. So I have this little bag in the bag. And in there I have a glue stick, some washi tape, a couple more of these, a little Altoids tin with an extra memory card for my camera, and my other eraser. Just a little bit of washi tape, nothing fancy. Oh, that goes back in here. I have the top part of a sock that I redid to put on my wrist whenever I go, so that I don't have to actually use the rag unless I want to. If I'm limited and it's just me by myself and I'm holding everything, I'm holding that clipboard, I can throw this right over my watch and use it. It makes things so much easier than using the rag. I have, like I said, this is travel / urban sketching, plein air sketching. So I have my date stamp and the ink pad, the archival ink pad. I like using the date stamp. Have my spray bottle of water to wet my watercolors with. I don't know what happened to the lid. I have my favorite pencil sharpener ever. Now that I know how to open it, I have the other Prismacolor. Have this Prismacolor pencil sharpener, but I like this one so much better. So much better. So I've saved this one for Victor's school pencils. I have a few more things of washi. Those should be in that bag. My scissors. These are the ones that have the cap. Victor has his own scissors with a cap. They stay in Victor's bag. I try not to mess with his scissors because I have a pair of scissors over there and the scissors that go in my bag. An extra little bit of tissue. I have this Derwent, my graphite pencils, which are right here. They go actually in here. But I don't use the graphite pencils very much when I go urban sketching. I like doing graphite sketches here because it's kind of messy, or at least it's messy for me. So in this, I have some pencils. I have a drawing pencil, an HB drawing pencil. I have a Derwent watercolor. It's blue-gray. It's the one that Kathy Johnson recommends for you to draw sometimes with, because this is a watercolor pencil, so the line will fade. But the great thing, it can be a pro or a con, actually, I should say, about Derwent's watercolor pencils is you still, even when you do use the water and the brush, it still kind of leaves a line. You have to really work at it to get rid of the line, and sometimes you want that line. So where the things that I want to line, this is the blue-gray. And then I also have the Derwent watercolor in the ivory black. I have Faber-Castell. This is the Gold Faber 2H. I have this, I don't even know what this is. It's Brunsnell Holland Expression Color 737. It's like a brown kind of color. I need to check and see what that is exactly. I have two Derwent Inktense pencils. I have one in ink black and one in bark. I have one red Prismacolor pencil in crimson red. That's actually not water soluble. I have the Faber-Castell erasable cartridge pencil. This is like an eraser. It has a point. You can sharpen it to get little fine detail. And then I have two Prisma watercolor pencils, and I have French gray and bluish pink, and these are more for like the light gray is in case I need a light gray, because that's kind of hard to do with what I have for watercolors, unless we were to bring the Zig clean color, or the Jane Davenport has a gray. And then this pinky peachy color, this blush pink, or for cheeks or lips, for the very beginning part of cheeks or lips. And then at the end, if I wanted to put in detail, I could use that red Prismacolor. I have also a red pencil, an Eno pencil to draw with. It leaves a kind of red undertone. I have those in the different colors, but my favorite is the red and the dark blue and the light blue. So that's in here. This is my travel palette. I have seriously thought about taking this off so that it just closes like this. This is the one you saw me put together, and then I did the swatch. It has the two watercolor brushes in it. This is actually the one that goes, this and the Holbein one go back and forth between here and the living room. I use this and the Holbein the most in the living room, and then I use this the most in here. And then I have a wrap. I spilt a watercolor, got all over it. I need to wash it, but I'm not, I'll wash it probably after I go this next time. So this wrap was made for me specifically. It is a coffee theme pen brush wrap, and I say that because this folds down to whatever size you have in there, unlike the other one, which is shorter. So I have a pretty good selection of stuff that's in here. We'll start with the drawing pens. I have the Sailor Fude and then the Lamy Joy. I think this is the Joy. It's hard to get the white one. I don't think they really make the white one, but this is black and red, which I love anyway. So I have platinum carbon ink in both of these. I have a Sharpie white fine point water-based. I have some white gouache somewhere I need to find. I just had it the other day. Now I've got to find it. I have another white gel pen. I have a China marker. I have my red Eno pencil. And I have a white Prismacolor pencil. Now, like I said before, I like real brushes. I'm not using water brushes anymore. I just don't. Every time I get them, no matter what brand they are, they either, one, get clogged, and I don't have I've tried unclogging them. Two, I wear out the bristles, and I think maybe it's our water here. So I've just gotten to the point where I like using the real brushes. So this is a Winsor & Newton Cotman Rigger brush. It is a number 2. I have a Winsor & Newton Cotman round and a 1 for detail work. This came in an Art Snacks box. It is a Raphael Precision 2. It's more like a filbert or a flat. I also have a number 4, and I think this is a filbert. It doesn't say on there, but this is the Princeton brush. This is the Elite series, and in the Elite series I also have a Princeton angular shader and a 1/2 inch. I like this angular shader. And then I have a Winsor & Newton, and this is the Cotman 1-stroke, and it's a 1/2 inch or a 13 millimeter flat, and then it has that slant where you can make the marks. See, you can make the marks in the watercolor. I saw somebody do it with grass and things like that. I can't remember what it's called. I'll learn some of these terms eventually. I will learn these terms eventually. So this is a number 12. I keep this in here because I don't normally do really big washes for the little stuff. I usually do it with the bigger stuff. So that stays in there. And then this is the other platinum pen. This is the medium point, and it has Lexington gray, and this is more for the writing stuff. I like to have it in there. I have this, which is the brush pen, and then I have these 3 different Uniball Vision pens, which are waterproof, just in case. Sometimes with the watercolor stuff, depending on what I'm doing, fountain pens aren't always, like, the paper's not always super friendly with fountain pens. So that's what's in my travel bag, y'all. It's not super fancy. To be honest, there are a lot of, I have a really, like I said, I have a gorgeous saddleback leather messenger bag. I can throw my laptop in, or throw my laptop in this, the tablet. I think once I get better at this and I get my supplies narrowed down, I'll probably start using the saddleback leather one, because I do want to break it in. It's not even broken in. I've had it for almost 9 years now, and it's not even broken in, y'all, because it costs so much money that I'm afraid to use it and mess it up. And that's the thing. I'm afraid I'll mess it up. So yeah, I would have loved to do this overhead, but my tripod sits too close, and it would have been right up in your face. I thought this might be better, and then you get to see my face. So I love watching what's in my bags. I'm not really good at this kind of stuff. I'm more chatty, but I like I like the chatty ones. So I'm sorry that it's not, I want to say Instagram worthy. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I love these kind of videos. I do. I love these kind of videos. And now I've done this video and I'm hungry and I need to edit this and put it all together for y'all. So I think I'm just going to have to get another apple for my bag. I'll see y'all again soon with another video. Bye, y'all.